NFL players are in the primes of their lives for the most part and are strong and healthy for the most part, and so they're at less risk as a group than someone in a retirement home, for example. I get that. Stephen A., in terms of should the owners keep having to pay the player's salary if there's no season? That really, to me, ethically comes down to, can they afford it? You know, we do pretty well in this business. I employ people that I've continued to pay even though they can't perform the service because there's social distancing now. I think it's incumbent upon employers, if they can afford it, to continue to pay employees during this time. Not everyone feels that way, but I think ethically that's important. If owners can't afford it, they can't afford it. But if they have the money, if you have billions and it's an issue of millions, I don't think they need to be that greedy. But on top of or besides all that, Stephen A., it's an issue of who accepts liability. The workers take the risk to their health.
Yes.
Why are employers not liable for having as safe a work environment as possible?
Well, I don't recall Ryan Clark nor myself saying that the employers are not obligated to make the working environment as safe as possible. Matter of fact, I believe both of us emphasize that that's one of the first things that the owners need to do. So that's number one. Number two, did you just on national television bring up ethics and fairness? And when it comes to business, when has that not flown out of the way? I thought decades ago that flown out. I mean, we all know that's not reality. You're going to have some owners that are willing to pay you regardless of the situation, and you're going to have others that says, hell no. That's the reality of the situation. I'm talking reality. You're thinking about things altruistically, and you're thinking about utopia, and I'm saying to you, that does not exist.
No.
So if you know that doesn't exist,
perfect.
Remember last year? What, Max?
Stay right there.
I wanted to go to my point about the Players Association.
Okay, stay right there. The point of business is not that it's immoral or moral. It's that it's amoral. It seeks to make a profit. That's all. It's like a shark eating
so what's
prey.
Your point?
It's not about morality. It needs to eat. That's what it does, right? That's why you need regulation. That's why this stuff needs to be litigated. Because with no regulation, business will always seek just to make as much profit as possible, including at the expense of its workers.
Hold on, RC. That is exactly why I'm getting annoyed with you. Who said that did not need to take place? He said it. I said
That's
it.
What we're discussing here.
We all recognize that has to happen. We said that. We absolutely said that. But what about this other point, Max? I was on the air last week, and I told you I got a call from an NBA official in the Players Association, a player, who said to me, quote, he said, we also got to address this reality. You have people who have other illnesses, other ailments that are affected by the coronavirus, not because they have it, but because they're scared to come out of their house to get other ailments treated. And as a result, they're dying because of that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that comes along with this that everybody has to take into consideration. And as a result of it, I've repeatedly said this to you. At some point in time, whether it's now, a month, 2 months, 5 months from now, watch. Devoid of a vaccine, we are going to be asked to take a risk. Austin Carr is recognizing that and saying, okay, let's work this out waiver-wise, but I'm willing to sign it because there's no way to avoid it. That's the reality.
RC, I'm going to give it to you. RC, I'm going to give it to you. I have to make this point. Right. Yeah. We are or people are being asked, workers are being asked to take a risk. By whom? By people who have amassed enormous pools of capital. And what I'm saying is, if they're asking the workers to take the risk, then the workers don't also assume the liability. There has to be, so what is being asked and messaged by powerful interests is, hey, we're going to have to open up business again, right? It's in your best interest. Don't expect a check from the government, and you will have to take a risk. And we would like to be relieved of liability. That's BS.
Max, and that's the And that's why I say this has to be collectively bargained. I believe that if it comes to a situation where there are going to be waivers that need to be signed, that will be okay because guys will have made a decision to play. But we can't allow the owners to dictate how this moves forward. I think so many times when we've gotten to negotiations, whether it be a new CBA, whether it be, okay, how much power does Commissioner Goodell have? It's always big bank takes little bank. It can't be that type of situation this time. This time it has to be where the owners and the players work together on having the right work environment, on having the right rules and regulations to take care of each player that had. What false assumption did you make?
I made a false assumption. I was assuming we understood that the Players Association was going to be talking to the league and the owners because they're doing it in baseball and the NBA right now because of the times we're living in. I assume that's automatic.
No, and I expect it to be too, but that's why I don't think that things could be so lopsided as to where Max is trying to say that the owners will accept no liability, because there is no way that DeMaurice Smith and the NFLPA can allow that to happen. They can't allow all the players, the players to accept all liability, to accept all risk in order for this game to be played, because in the end, the owners will get the majority of the money. And so there has to be some way. Austin Carr can't make it as simple as I want to play, so I'll sign whatever because I'm young, because I'm healthy, because I'm in the prime of my life. Because now you're letting the owners off the hook to say, okay, you go out here and make this money, and we'll see what happens after.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.